morning, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We're running a little bit late today. Had to go ahead and take a shitter. Had to go ahead and take a poopsie doopsie. Alright. Market just opened. Everybody's home. Everybody's gonna be loud. I do apologize. But, anyways, market just opened. Daily bias is going to be bullish. Why is it going to be bullish? Because we failed to close below this 4-hour low. I mean, we still have about 26 minutes left of this candlestick. But with how it looks at the moment, I don't even think it would be worth the saying we will be even visiting these lows today. It's a stretch. It's a stretch, but that's what I'm saying. We did get a break of structure on the 4-hour. 1 hour is showing the retracement, but nonetheless, you could see the break of structure that had happened on the 4-hour, nice and clean. So I'm believing we're bullish. I'm just waiting on further confluences to give me that identifier. We have a break of structure forming right now. We still about a minute left of this 5-minute candlestick. That very same break of structure is showing here as well. So looking pretty good. One thing I've been failing to do is wait on my retracements. Just waiting on a proper retracement has been fucking me over. Why? Because speak with positive. I am a patient person. I am a patient person who has not really developed that skill just of yet, but I am a patient person. Anyways, as contradicting as that was, you still get the picture. We have the liquidity sweep. We'll have the break of structure. We failed to get the liquidity sweep here on ES. Regardless on that fact, we still get the break of structure. We get the liquidity sweep, break of structure. Only thing that we would need to go ahead and see from here on out is a positive retracement. From there on out, we could look for a 1-minute break of structure into the new trend that is trying to form itself. I could try hitting these highs. Like, all these stacked up highs right here are delicious. It kind of makes daddy horny, I'm not gonna lie. We don't have those very same highs here, although we have these stacked up highs here. It's not as delicious. I mean, look at NASDAQ and look at the S&P 500. These stacked up highs right here, again, straight boner into somebody's asshole. While S&P 500, meh, it gets me a little soft. So I would like to go ahead and take my trades off of NASDAQ, but if we keep fucking around like we are right now, is we can, like, what I'm saying clearly is that we have a flip, a power flip. That power flip is now, like I said before, I wanted longs, I wanted NASDAQ to be the longs, but you could see that this retracement down is hella strong. Look at ES. ES does not want these lows as much as NASDAQ does. That right there is telling me that we have a flip in power. Why is that being so, though? Is because of this SMT that was formed. We'll go to the hourly. I didn't want to mark out the SMT just because it might not have been too strong to use. Why? Is because of this. I wanted to be able to see the retrace down before I said that was a clear SMT. I mean, we still have 2 minutes left. I would want to see if this breaks. Okay, well, yeah, That's exactly why I didn't want to draw the SMT. So let me go over what an SMT divergence is. An SMT divergence is when one index makes a low and a lower low, where the other index makes a lower high and a high. Let me make that make sense. You see how NASDAQ itself would have had to blew through this low right here, created a low and then a lower low. Now let's just hypothetically say on the S&P 500, this candlestick never actually blew through there. Let's just pretend that never actually did. So in that case, we have a low and a low, or a higher low and a lower low being formed. That right there would have been the SMT. A low, lower low, high, higher, low, higher low, higher low, low. Sorry, it's too early. Higher low, low. This failed. So if we're continuing on with that very same thought process, this would have failed the breakthrough this low, where this, as you can see, bull run through it. Which means this has more orders leading to the downside, where this has more orders leading towards the upside. Why? Once more, this S&P 500 failed to close below, which means no orders. There are hardly any sell orders within this index right now. And you can clearly see that as I'm like spitting it out. NASDAQ, on the other hand, has all the orders to the downside. As of right now. We might have actually had a 5-minute S&T divergence. Yeah, so right here is another possible SMT divergence. A low, higher low, low, lower low. Clear SMT divergence. This, like I was just explaining, this has more leading orders to the downside, where this has more leading orders to the upside. That is a very good tell on which index is going to have more power for you to go on. So with that being said and done, I have to start thinking about taking my trades on the S&P 500. Why? Because it's showing me that it's wanting to lead into the upside. It could change. But there needs to be highs taken. These highs right here need to be taken well before I can say that the SMT is formed and over with. We still have like 19 minutes left on this candlestick. On Friday, this is where I fucked up hard. I didn't wait on this 4-hour candlestick to go ahead and close all the way. I just entered in and it stopped me out for $400. So if I would have just been patient and waited on this 4-hour candlestick to close, I would have been able to have generated me so much more fucking money. Nonetheless, we're learning from the mistake and we're waiting on the 4-hour candlestick to just finish and close. I don't give a fuck how, although nothing right now looks enticing, I don't give a fuck how enticing anything looks. To be, I'm just gonna keep it a fucking $150 with your ass. I'm not entering until that fucking 4 hours is done. And if I do enter before that 4 hours done, or not done, I'm gay. We don't want to be... I might get canceled for that, but I don't give a fuck. Bite me. Alright, so we have the positive break of structure. What we are waiting on now is the retracement. We can't have a retracement to go off of. Why? Because we need a swing high and a swing low to present itself for for equilibrium. And that's what we're going to be using for the retracement tool. We don't have a fair value gap to go off of. So it is going to be a equilibrium kind of day. Oh, let's just hope. We do have news at 9. I do have to say that. We do have news at 9, and then Trump speaks at 12. That's... we want to make sure we are out of fucking trades at that time. Gonna keep it $1.50 with you. We're gonna make sure we're out of trades at that time. Because when that motherfucker opens his mouth, this motherfucker has... when Trump opens his mouth, the stock market ends up doing some fun shit. And I am very... I use fun loosely. Ooh. A little bit of manipulation. This is starting to look like it's wanting to be more towards the upside, just because of how much it's bouncing up and down. But I have to keep in mind that the possible this could be a possible SMT. That could possibly be the SMT divergence. But if it's not, then this is still the leading index to the upside. Which means I fell for the trap that market makers went ahead and put in for me. Aha! I mean, I might have actually fell for it. Look at this candlestick. What I'm thinking is, look at this candlestick. Look at how big the body is. Well, rather, look how small the body is compared to this candlestick. Look how big the body is. It could be just because of how zoomed in I am. Let's see. Hell no. Okay, so another way that we can look at this and determine which one is bigger. Look at the wicks. Look at the wicks that are forming. You tell me which one's bigger. The bigger one's going to be the one that's leading to the downside. The smaller one's going to be the one that leads to the upside. To me, this motherfucker looks like it's wanting to go to the upside. This motherfucker looks like it wants to the downside. So were you actually a true SMT divergence, or are you just out here really just still fucking with motherfuckers? I got the baby oil. If you want to fuck me. You know, my whole bias could actually be wrong today if this 4-hour... I am not fucking wrong. We're fucking bullish today. Get the fuck... Let's go. Let's fucking go. What are we doing? 9 times out of 10, we're gonna probably want these highs. Yep. We're gonna probably want to stake out all that stacked up liquidity. I'm telling you, boy. It makes daddy horny, daddy. Okay, let me stop. Let me get myself together. I am so sorry. Opa. I'm over here talking and shit. Hold on. We might have actually had that retracement while I was fucking around. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. I forgot to log into my fucking broker. I forgot to log into my broker. Fuck. Come on. Come on, daddy. Come on, daddy. Okay, so you can go down. You can go away. Crazy. I might be gay. Bite my dick. Oh, bite my dick. Hello? My only hope is that my entry was solid enough. That's my only hope, because this should have been the entry. This should have been the stop. But I'm late to the party, so I had to go ahead and buy in at a higher price. But with that being said and done, Price has the opportunity to come back down and stop me out, just because it's not in the most like pristine-ish spot to be in. Like, it's okay, it's all right, but it could be better. It could be so much better. I gotta start thinking about closing this trade out if Price wants to get below this inverse. Or fair value gap creating the inverse, I'm sorry. Because if it does that, then there's a very strong chance that we are starting to look more towards the downside for more lows to be taken out on the 1 minute, to then probably want to shoot higher later on. But the only thing that I could do now is just manage the trade as much as possible, at least as best as possible. Me and my mentor took the same trade. Me and my mentor took the same trade. That's crazy. Me and my mentor both took the same trade. Well, yeah, he's on NASDAQ. He took it up more. Yeah, see his entry. I'm here, I believe. No. Yeah, he's somewhere. Yeah, so we got pretty much the same fill. That's crazy. We both pretty much had the same fill. Nice. He's targeting these highs. That's what I want to target, but there's no but. We're moving it. I mean, that right there is quite a big difference, But oh well.
I can't even pull profit off of this. Oh, his stops are actually a lot closer. Yeah, he took these. I'm taking the 4 hours.
So it's not the same. He's taking these highs. He's taking these London highs right here. We've already went ahead and swept out this high. I mean, that's kind of egregious. We break a structure. The inverse. Well, shit, if you popped it at the inverse, yeah, once you popped it here, that's it. Take off. Yeah.
So like I said, this right here would have been the initial move, but and then we could have targeted these highs as well. But seeing as we were late to the party, we had to go ahead and target these highs because taking it up to these highs wouldn't have... Getting in here and then taking these shits here, it wouldn't have equaled out to a good trade.
I would have to go like really dirty with my risk to reward ratio. So he will go ahead and hit his profits. I will still have to go ahead and hold this. It probably would have been better to take it on ES. But then again, we're just now getting that retracement. What is it? Swing low, swing high. Yeah. Touched in, we came back down, and then we got the break. We would have entered in here, stopped here, and then target up to here. What are we doing on the 30? If we could continue breaking the structure, then there's a high chance that we might be able to take these highs here. Maybe even these highs. Or market has the opportunity of just hitting these highs here and then just flipping. In which case, yikes. But now it's just more or less like, is my stop at a more appropriate spot or place? Can my stop survive the push? He closed out of his trade. That's it. If we start seeing more moves down into this area, then I'm gonna have to kill it myself. Just because we've already went ahead and swept out these highs. I mean, although we are looking okay-ish, I'm not liking this wick. I am not liking that wick at all. But what really does matter is the body itself at the moment. If we can close above this 30-minute, then we have a slight chance of going higher. We're failing to fucking do it on the 50. That's kind of worrisome. Because if we can't get it on the if we can't get it on the 15, then there might be a small chance that we might not get it on the 30. Okay, that gives me just a little bit more faith. We could break structure on the 15-minute on NASDAQ, then ES has no choice but to follow suit. Why? Because NASDAQ is the leading index to the upside right now.
What I have to start looking for, though, is breaks of structures on the 1 minute. So if we get a break of structure on the 1 minute to the downside, then we're looking for a 5-minute retrace. And that right there will stop us out.
So if we get a 1 minute break of structure, we're closing this motherfucker. I gotta periodically sit down. My feetsy weetsies, man. My feetsy weetsies. Let me sit back and watch Tyler run his shit. Well, that's fucking disgusting. Yeah, how about we not do that?
Get a 1 minute break right here. We gotta close.
Now I could look for a re-entry, or we could just say fuck it. This wick was disgusting.
Got the Burgess structure.
Possible reversals? Like I told you, do we get that 1 minute break of structure? We're gonna get that 5-minute retrace. 5-minute retrace to the downside.
looking for possible shorts. Seeing as we've already hit all these highs, I'm not wanting these highs. That was a little bit too egregious. If we inverse this gap, I have to close down the trade just because that means price is wanting to go down. Then that will invalidate my trade idea before hitting my stop. We're in this interesting little spot right now. We're just in this very interesting spot right here. I hope not. I really hope we don't get that 5-minute retrace. Production. The only thing that would take us out right now is a 5-minute fucking retrace. That would come into a form of a 1-minute break of structure. We see a 1-minute break, we're done. I'll close the trade for what it is. We're on the right side of the tracks with this one. NASDAQ is the more bearish index right now. ES is the more bullish index.